Hey there guys, thanks for joining us on another battle report. Today we're doing something a little different. We're doing our first battle report on this channel for Devil's Run, the Route 666, which is from Wordforge Games. As it happens, there's actually a Kickstarter running now for Season 2, which is kind of coincides with why myself and Tony, are going to do a little battle report for you guys. We're using the base components from the box, well at least I am. We're using the base boards, and I'm using, we'll go over the armor listener. Mine's the unpainted stuff, shame on me. But hopefully in future battle reports, we're going to be playing through the campaign. So we're going to be doing mission 1, which is the San Pedro pickup. I'll get into that in a second, but I thought I'd just let you guys know. We'll be using the 3D boards, which comes from, the excellent 3D boards, which comes from Dark Ops. But I've picked mine up direct from Wordforge Games. You can go to their website and check it out. They'll be coming. I'll have them hopefully up and ready, and I'll get my stuff painted. I'm using the haulers today, but on the Kickstarter at the moment they got a new faction that they've previewed, which is called the Vikers. It's like a Viking Norse guys. I really like the look of them, so they'll probably be my faction in the future. How about you, Tone? What are your thoughts?
Yes, yeah, I've got myself the law. It's coming for you.
Yeah. All right, so. We'll get to the scenario in a minute. I'll just show you my warband. We're using roughly $4,000 to start off with, and my is such
40,000. 40,000. You wouldn't even get a car for 4,000.
That's true. Yeah. So I'm using a basic Hall Angels trike. The driver is armed with a pistol. The guy at the back is armed with a flamer, and then I've got a generic Hall's Angels bike, but he's armed with an Uzi instead of the pistol that you get for free. Then I've got another Horde Angels bike, which is driven by Zuma. He's a special character, and he's really good. He allows you to move diagonally for 1 instead of the normal, and he can do the handbrake turn. He's also armed with a Uzi. And then I've got the Horde Angels car. The passenger's armed with a Magnum, and the car's got reinforced bumpers and some nitros. And I've also got, from the first Kickstarter, it's a little free one-shot. If I get wrecked, I can add extra D6 to my repair. So, let's do Tony's warband first. What you got, Tony?
Okay, so we have a Pursuer, which is a car that doesn't come in the base set for the law.
That's that one right there.
That's that one. And, of course, it's crewed by Lewis and Doyle, the professionals. So Lewis is a professional driver. He gets to re-roll 1 evade test per turn. Doyle is the Perminator.
Fantastic.
He gets his BS roll is a critical on a 1 to 4, which is a bit scary because it's usually just a 1.
Yeah, critical do double damage on a hit of a 1, but he's a 1 to 4. But he's only firing a pistol, so it's 2 damage.
He's only firing a pistol, yeah. So the Pursuer's armed with reinforced bumpers, which when I resolved the damage in a ram, or a ram on the brakes action, you add +2 to the damage cause. And I've got nitros as well, so I can roll a d6 instead of a d3 and discard the card. Both Lewis and Doyle are armed with pistols, which they get for free. Then we have a law buggy. It's got reinforced armour and dual machine guns on the roof.
That's the one just behind him, honking him to get out of the way.
Yeah, that's a bit scary having that behind you, even if it is your own.
Yeah, I hate and love the dual buggy because I love machine guns, but it's a pain in the arse when you're playing against it.
And then we have 2 law bikes, and they are crewed by Dutch and Malarkey Chips. So
those are those 2 there.
Dutch is armed with a Magnum for free, Malarkey's armed with a pistol for free, and their rules are life partners, so Malarkey and Dutch may be activated together in one activation phase, and they can also combine fire when using the life partner special skill, so when they're activated together, and they both complete a shooting action at the same target, both their weapons receive a +1 to the power. So Dutch's Magnum would be a power 3, and Malarkey's pistol would be a power 2.
There you go. Okay, so that's our warbands. As we said, we're doing 40 grand as our starting warbands. This is already deployment as it is. In the rules, it shows you. So I'm alphabet, he's numbers. and that shows you where we put the stash down and where the debris. So as you can see, it's set up as such. Mission objective is we're basically racing up the board, trying to collect the stash. This stash, by the way, doesn't come with the game itself. It comes with little tokens. These is what Tony has brought us to use today, and they're really cool. They're like tank storage.
They're 20mm modern. You can pretty much find them at quite a few websites that do wargaming modern 20mm figures.
So that's pretty cool. So the idea behind it is we have to pick up the stash and drive off with them. For each stash you collect, you get a victory point. The game will last up to 10 turns. Or if the entire warband is wrecked, then the game immediately ends and the opponent wins. So those are all the rules. That's the setup. Are we ready to roll?
We are.
Shall we do a live initiative roll?
Yep. Watch me lose this one to start with.
I got 6.
Oh, no, draw.
Let's go again. 8.
2.
So I got initiative. I'm damn well taking it. Right, we'll come back to you at the end of round 1. So this is the end of round 1, and as you can see, the carnage has already ensued. As it was quite interesting. I obviously saw me win the roll for initiative. I decided I've demoed this game quite a couple of times over the last couple of weeks, and everyone who uses the haulers always tries to use the flamer really aggressively, like trying to burn, because it ignores damage. So what I did was instead I zoomed him up the board and picked up a stash, which was cool. Then Tony,
Fell for that.
Yeah, he decided, you know what, I don't like flavors. So he burned his nitro, drove all the way up with the pursuer and sideswiped me. I failed my evade test, moved into the next square. Then he put only 1 damage on me because I rolled really well. You know, sideswiping is only like just a dink. But as it happened, he then left a nice little passageway for me.
Totally not regarding the rest of the board.
Tony just saw red mist in his eyes.
Just saw red mist for the flamer and went for it. Setting myself up for a ram.
So I burned my nitro with my Horse Angels car, zoomed up the board, and did 14 with my dice roll and my armor, and did 10 points of damage to the pursuer, wrecking it. Now, in case you don't know, wrecking is not an end of the world, but it is unlikely it's going to get back into this game, because what you have to do from then onwards is you roll 3d6, and if you can roll 666. Well, I said it was unlikely, but
Unlikely, but not that unlikely.
Yeah, if you roll 666, it comes back onto basically three armor points bank, or chassis points. So now I've just wasted my, thanks a lot, internet. I've just wasted my chance of getting anything back in the later this game. So that's what Tony's going to roll as one of his actions on his turns. But everything else was sort of, it paled into significance of that. As then, what did you do after I rammed you?
I then moved the buggy.
That's right, yeah. The buggy came up, and fired its miniguns on me.
Yep.
It got a critical hit through and did 2 points of damage to my Horse Angels car, which is quite nasty. He actually got 3 hits through, but one of them was a critical. I saved the other 2 on my armor roll, but the critical got through and did 2 points. Then, on my turn, I thought, well, the ramming seems really fun. I might as well try it again. So my generic Horse Angels biker rammed this guy right here in front. I can't remember which one that is.
That's Malarkey.
He rammed Malarkey, and Malarkey took 4 points of damage because of the ram. So he's only got 2 left, hasn't he?
Yes, that is because a bike is usually CP5, but Malarkey gives the bike he's riding +1.
So he needed all that. And then in his turn, both of them activated and fired onto the car. I saved both my armor rolls, so I've been pretty lucky with the dice rolls in this round. And then in my turn, Zoomer, who can move diagonally for 1, zoomed all the way across from here and fired at not Malarkey, Dutch, and put a damage on him. I actually should have fired on Malarkey in hindsight, but I wasn't thinking about that. I was just seeing shoot. So that's the end of round 1. Quite a successful turn for the Horse Angels. Picked up a stash, wrecked the pursuer, put some heavy damage on the Chips guys, and now we go to round 2. Let's roll for initiative, Tone. I got 3. 7. So Tone's got initiative. We'll be back after round 2, and hopefully Tone will have some stuff left on the board.
Maybe not.
So, end of round 2 for the San Pedro run, and it's not looking good for the Coppers. As you saw, Tony won the initiative, and he activated the Chip Spikers first. They moved up along the side here and fired at the flamethrower.
Indeed.
Malarkey got a critical hit through, which I saved on a two or less armor. Tony's shaking his head. There's so many 2 or less, not 2+, 2 or less saves I've made. Has been fantastic. So the other guy did fire on, I think that's
The flamer.
I think he missed as well, didn't he?
Yes.
Oh yes, I remember now the turn. So my turn, that was both of them activated for the same action. And then obviously he only had these 2 left, so it was my action next. I moved the generic biker up from the back here. He came up behind Dutch, fired his Uzi into the back of him. Put, I think, 2 wounds on Dutch.
2 wounds on Dutch, yep.
Then Tony tried to repair the pursuer, failed. I then activated Zuma, who moved up on the side here, also fired on Dutch, and put another 2 wounds on him, so he's down to 1. And then the minigun moved up, behind the flamer, which was still over there. He needed 6 or less to hit, and rolled an 8, a 9, and a 10. That's some serious bad luck, man.
That's terrible.
You know,
You'd have probably saved it anyway if I'd have hit.
That's true. You know, for someone who loves
rolls.
games as much as you do, the dice really hate you. So my turn, it was pretty simple. I moved, because the tracks are hard to steer, and it's minimum movement 3, so I just moved over there and flamed Malarkey. 2 hits through, no armor saves allowed against the flamer, so he's down. So Dutch is on 1 wound. I mean, the minigun is still unhurt, but I am unhurt as well.
I've done some damage.
The Angel's got 2, and the Trike's got 1, and I've also got 1 stash as well. So I'm looking good at this point. I'm almost thinking, I was saying to Tony, I was like, I want to do one of the turns where we actually film a little bit of the turn, and I think I might have to do the next turn.
It could well be the last turn.
So we're going to go into turn 3 now. Let's roll for initiative quickly, and then we're going to have a pause. So I got 2, so you got initiative. We're going to have a pause to quick think what we're going to do, and then we'll film a bit of the turn. Okay, so this is activation 1. Tony's going to activate. He's activating the minigun, or the mini thingamabob. Yep. You have to do a move action on your turn.
So I've got a minimum move of 2 plus dice roll of 3, so I can do 2 to 5.
So you have to move your minimum move. So for example, let me show you this card over here. It says minimum move on the side there, if it'll zoom in. So when the bikes are really fast, so they roll 2d3, generally you choose the highest. And then that's how far you can move. You have to move at least 3, but you can move up to whatever the distance is. Moving diagonally costs 2 movement points, and moving straight forward obviously just costs 1. So what's the minigun going to do, man?
He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
How's he going?
He's going to fire at the car.
Oh.
Directly out to the side 2, which will give me a minus 0. 0.
Right,
No modifier.
So this is what we're gonna. I'm gonna get my beautiful Carla to make me some templates because this is rubbish. But basically, you have to hover it over the side and then check what it is. So this is a buggy. He's firing directly to the side. What is it? 2 squares. Mm-hmm. So it's a 0. The dark green there. So he's got 3 shots.
I have a ballistic skill of 6.
So you need to get under your ballistic skill, equal to or under. So 6 or less, no modifiers. So that's 3 hits.
And 1 a critical.
1 a critical. Okay, so I have to take 3 armor saves. I'm going to just pull out my card here. Armor is over there. I got an armor of 4, so I need 4 less. So the critical is separate, and I got an 8 for that. So that's going to do at least 2 points of damage because.
Yep, 2.
There was
power 1.
And then the other 2. Did you get 2 hits or 3 hits? It was all 3 hits, wasn't it? So the other 2 I missed as well. So I've taken 4 points of damage. So I already had 2, so now I'm up to 6, and that's the CP there. So I've only got 4 CP left. Now that's quite relevant as well, because when you do rams and braking and stuff like that, you add your CP to the dice roll, but you have what's left. So that's what I got left. So that was Tony's successful turn.
Actually hit.
Yeah, 3 wounds as well, or 4 because of the critical. Right, so what am I going to do? I think I'm going to activate the flamer. So, because the flamer is a bike, it rolls 2d3 for pedal to the metal. I've rolled a 2 and a 1. So it's minimum movement of 3, so I can go up to 5. Minimum of 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to go... Oh, I can't go sideways there because because it's hard to move. It takes 3 points to move to there, and I've only got 2 left. So I'm just going to go 1 more forward to there. These little tokens, by the way, are debris tokens. If you ride over debris, you have to take an evade test. If you fail, you take a damage point without any armor rolls. So I just got to quickly check if I can actually shoot Tony from there. I can. So again, I have to check the little table. This is where the bike is, and that's where Tony is. So I'm going to fire 3 shots at ballistic skill 7 or less, and I've got 2 hits just about, because I've rolled an 8 as well. The flamer actually gets modified by range. Because there was no range modifier, I got all 3 shots. Tony doesn't take any armor saves against that. So
which is sad, because the buggy's actually got reinforced armor on it.
Yeah, sod your armor. So he just takes 2 points of damage.
Yeah, down to 6.
Oh, actually, I wonder if I can... No, I can't because I fired. I'm actually next to one of the stash markers. And you can use you only have 2 actions on your turn. One I used to move, and the second one was to shoot. But if I had another... Like, instead of shooting, I could have tried and picked up that stash. But I'm not. If you do a special move, you don't get that second action. So, like ramming, side-swiping, those sort of things are special moves. So it goes back to Tone.
So, poor old Dutch...
Surrounded by Zoomer and generic bod number 2.
Oh, so he's got a 2, so a minimum of 3, so that's 3 to 5.
The guy, why we leave them on the board is because they count as wreck markers. So if he goes, he can actually drive over his friend, but it counts as the same as driving over debris and stuff. Basically ramps over the bike, and he has to take a evade roll.
What's the manoeuvring on?
It's fine. It's just as if you start your turn in there, you get minimum movement 1, so it slows you down.
1, 2.
You don't want to drive over your friend?
No. Oh, I think I'll do this. 3, 4, 5. I will go to minimum 1 next go, but that's going to happen because we're on there anyway.
Oh yeah, I just realised the whole freaking board is part of it. And you're going to take a shot at the flame, aren't you?
I am.
So you're there. That's a -1. But he's got a high ballistic skill of 8, I believe.
He's got 8, so it's going to be 7s.
7s or less.
And he's got the Magnum, so it's power of 2.
And he's missed. Of course he has. It's a roll of an 8. Alright. So basically, all Tony is left with now is...
couple of repair rolls.
Repair rolls, yeah. So I have the freedom to do as much damage to him as I can. Which is going to be... first, I think I'll activate the car, which is nice and easy. Yeah, car only gets 1 D3 roll, which I've rolled a 3. His minimum movement 2, so that's 5. He's going to go 1, 2, 3...
Oh, it's got minimum movement 1 because he started on the sand.
That's a good point. Yes. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Actually, I can go 1 more. 4, there we go. Minimum 2, and I rolled 3, so I can go 5.
I think you started 1 square back actually when you recounted.
Okay, I'll go 1 back. So that's why I have Tony here to remind me of these things.
So I think you were there. Yes, you were, because I fired across there. So that's where you started.
I could fire out of there as well, because my passenger has a Magnum, but I'm not sure I'm going to get a line of sight. In fact, the passenger can only fire out of that blue corridor there. So I'm there. So that's a 0, -1, minus... That's me, I'm shooting.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I can't shoot him. And I don't want to shoot that guy. So, my turn next. I'm going to activate...
Well, I've got a repair roll.
Oh, yes, of course.
I will try and repair the pursuer. Get out.
No. See? The 666. You can actually, if you roll 666, you repair as well. But it's not as well as a 666. I don't know. I think I'm going to activate generic biker over here. So, let's call him Sandy. So he's getting 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's going to fire his Uzi again into the back of Duke. or Dutch.
Dutch.
Hopefully be Dutch dead. So I need at least 1 wound here because he's only got 1 health left, and I've hit twice. So just to show you guys, all Angel bikes have ballistic skill 7. That's going to be a straight roll against there. But the Uzi, which is scattergun, adds +2 to your rolls. So technically, I need a 5 or less, which is those 2.
Okay, so my armor roll.
Of 1 or a 2.
1 or a 2.
So I need one of these 2 to fail. Yeah, one did fail. So Dutch is down. So the scenario is to pick up stash, but if you reckon
just survive.
Yeah.
In my case.
Clearly, I got a thing against cops. Do you want to try and pick up Malarkey?
Yeah. I tried with Malarkey. Oh no, I tried to pursue it, didn't I?
Yeah.
So it's Malarkey now. Go on, 6. Only 1 6.
Only once, that's no good. It's not meant. It's meant to be tough. It's not meant for you to.
Yeah.
It's like a miracle roll if you do repair, and certain characters help you repair as well when you add characters to them.
And there's equipment as well. There's toolkits.
Right. So what am I gonna do? I got Zoomer left. So the only thing I got left that I want to do is the buggy. How many buggies got reinforced armor?
Reinforced armor, giving it an armor of 4.
So I think I'm gonna try and pick up some stash. So he's got a movement of extra +2, so 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The Zoomer can, because he's Zoomer. And then he's gonna pick up that stash over there. So it's an evade roll of +2. He gets evade +2 anyway. So he's on a Halls Angels bike, which is evade 6, goes up to 8, goes up to 10. So I can't really fail this. Oh.
Yay.
So I can fail, apparently. Right, so that's the end of the round, I think. Is that the end of the round?
Yep, you moved the car, the flamer, and then Zoomer was last.
Okay, so there you go. It's nice and simple, easy round. We're gonna go into round 4, but we'll only come back with an end cap of that.
We
round.
actually managed to get to round 4.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you, Tony. Okay, so we've just finished round 4, and Tony's still in it, but just.
Yeah.
Obviously, one thing I never mentioned while we were playing is when the guys leave the last board, it rolls out to the front. So obviously the road extends, and some more stash tokens came out. Tony, as you can see, failed to revive any of his dudes. It's really hard. But the minigunner is determined to take out this Halls Angels car, so he put another wound on it. Did you? No, I saved it.
You saved all the yeah. No, I missed 999.
That's right, 999. Yes, good stuff, Tony. Well done, 999. So that was his turn. Was move up, roll 999 to fire on me, and then I moved up the flamer, taking a wound from rolling over that debris and passing that one over there. Flamed the dude, put 3 more wounds on him, so he's down to his last wound. Actually, he had 2 then. Zoomer rolled up behind him, fired his minigun, his Uzi gun into the back of it, put another wound on him, so he's down to his last wound. I then rolled up, with the Magnum, fired out the Magnum out the window. Tony made the save. That guy over there moved up and picked up a piece of stash.
Yes, it is embarrassing when you rely on the terrain to damage your opponent. Because you're unable to.
So that's the end of round 4. We're going on to round 5 now. But before we do that, I just want to mention something which is what I thought was quite interesting. This biker here, if he moves on to this roll, we will obviously roll the board forward again. But all these 3 guys will basically get left behind. So that's a way of speeding up the situation in terms of you have only so many actions before you can give up on them as they get left behind. Because you can imagine this is a massive speed chase and people are flying up the board. But I don't think Tony has to worry about that too much because he's got 1 point of health left on that buggy, in within that reinforced buggy. And I've got all 4 of my vehicles just firing constantly into him. So, Tony, do you want to do potentially the last initiative roll for this turn?
Yes, go on, I did this one.
I got
10.
4. Well, that's one thing you've won every turn.
Yeah, because it's rolling high.
Yeah. Yes, that's a good point. So Tony's got initiative, and we will be back in probably about 30 seconds for the round 5. Well, I said there was going to be about 30 seconds, and it was. You saw Tony won the initiative. He moved forward, cleverly parked himself in front of the the flamer, because the flamer is obviously not very mobile, and fired backwards. Just turned the minigunners around, fired onto him, but it was a -2 hits, and he rolled, of course, no hits.
Yes.
Then my turn, I activated Zuma. He piled up next to him. Oh man, I'm loving the Uzi guns, even though they get the -2. With Zuma, he's ballistics of 8, so I needed 6s or less. Got 2 hits through. Only needed 1 to survive. Actually, I got 3 hits through, and there's Tony's armor roll. So he rolled 8, 7, and 3. So 2 wounds came through, and that's that. All these cars are wrecked. And the victory goes to the Haulers. I had 2 stashed, just so, by the way. Now, I thought I'd just mention as well, you can play campaign players, which is what me and Tony is doing. It's sort of not, it's not so much as a campaign play, it's more like
it's linked scenarios.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say, linked scenarios. So, I just want to get to the page quickly. So the San Pedro pickup, I've obviously completed the victory. So down here it says spoils of war. So the winning gang may add the harpoon to one non-character vehicle in their gang. If the vehicle is wrecked at the end of any game, the upgrade is lost for all subsequent games. But the next game will be old grudges. So it'll have a new setup, new mission, new things. The only thing that we're doing differently, which is, because this is obviously the campaign for the scenarios for the base game, and it tells you what you can use, but we've been using what we, felt like. So that's the first game of the campaign done. What did you think, Tone?
Yes, I think I lost it with the very first move. Well, the dice rolls didn't help, but seeing red and just moving that pursuer up to sideswipe the bike was a disaster, because I did not look at behind me to see that I was lining myself up for a ram from the car. And rams and ramming on the brakes are deadly in this.
Yeah, sideswiping is good, which is what you went for, but not as good. Sideswiping is generally quite good for vehicles against bikes, which is what you were actually doing, because you were going for the flamer. That flamer is a big red target, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I was quite surprised how little damage you did with that. But then, of course, you just set it up perfectly. Mind you, if we didn't have the nitro, I wouldn't have made it.
No, that's true. But once again, if I didn't have the nitro, I wouldn't have seen red, knowing I could use it to get there.
That is also a good valid point. Yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. It was a lot brutal than our last game. I mean, normally the games go quite there's lots of wrecked vehicles all over because it's a brutal game, but not so one-sided.
Well, look at the second board. That was the second initial board.
Yeah. I think the things that I really liked out of what I was using is the Uzis. Man, these things are lethal.
They're with a character, they're lethal.
Yeah. I mean, and Zuma's ability, he's really good. I think I'm going to use him almost every time. I love the fact that he can move diagonally for one movement point. So he makes him really versatile, just jinking in between stuff, things like that. How did you find your chips, guys?
It's useful, activating them both, and the +1 power's really nice with both of them if they fire at the same target.
I was thinking
Especially when one of them's armed with a magnum, giving a power of 3.
Yeah, that's really good. I thought that was really good. What I thought was, while we were playing, during one of our turns, I was thinking to myself, it's quite interesting that, because they activate both at the same time, which gives you, a quick boost in actions. But you were always winning the initiative roll, and you didn't have a lot of else, so you constantly had to use them inefficiently, if you like, which I thought was interesting. So you kind of want to lose the initiative roll with them rather than win. What do you think of the scenario? Scenario's pretty basic, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's good scenario. Always like it with the stash ones on the board, because it gives you something to aim for, and
especially
try and pick up.
That you got these tokens. These tokens are these little objects are much better than because this is actually, I think, what they use for the stash tokens, which is rubbish. So I'm going to be making some debris tokens as well to replace these, especially when I'm going to be using when we get the 3D board. And I suggest you guys, I'll put a link in the show notes below to the Dark Ops YouTube video where they show you how to paint the 3D terrain. It's fantastic, really, really good. I really like that a lot. And also come up with some interesting markers to mark out wounds on your stuff as well. Tony uses little dice. But that was good fun. Thanks, Tony.
Yes, I'm just so disappointed in Lewis and Doyle. They are not professionals. They are not.
Maybe you should have got the other minigunner out there as well. Just have a row of minigunners at the back.
Well, yes. Yeah, I might do that next time.
All right, well, we're going to go play some other games, so we'll speak to you guys later. Thanks for watching.